All right, happy Monday night. We are back with a new stream. Trying something new here that I'm not terribly good at, but we're going to see how it goes anyway. We're playing some Victoria 2, and my goal is to see if I can, one, come across some of the events my students have been talking about lately in our U.S. history class, but also I'm going to see if I can end slavery in the United States peacefully. Now, historically, that's a pretty tall order, but I think I'm up to the task. So, here we go. All right, back in Binghamton, so I'm in my office. So it's the okay camera and the less than ideal light situation, but we make do. What we're looking at this time is whether or not I can avoid the sectional tensions that lead to the war, mainly over the question of slavery. Because let's be honest, there's a whole bunch of other issues that are also raising sectional tension. The South doesn't go into defense mode because of tariffs, right? The Baptist Church doesn't split into northern and southern denominations because of funding for internal improvements, right? Slavery is at the heart of the problems that are tearing the country apart in this moment, and there's no way around that. And so I'm very curious to see if I can successfully navigate those tensions and guide the country through peacefully. But if not, then we prosecute the war and we end slavery. So let's see, this starts in 1836, so it'd be the end of the Jackson administration. We're getting ready for Martin Van Buren, and the Texas Revolt is just kicking off, so I am going to be playing as the United States, trying to enact manifest destiny and all that, and spread an empire of liberty across the Great Plains, and I guess we just won't deal with the Native Americans because the game quite literally doesn't include them in any meaningful way whatsoever, but it is what it is, so we'll get to it. Alright, so here we go. This is Victoria 2. A couple key things we have to do right off the bat. The first is we have to set some national focuses. I think having people to work in factories and drive the economy is good. So I'm going to promote immigration to New York and Pennsylvania. One of the driving sectional tensions is the fact that the House of Representatives becomes very unbalanced. There's not a lot of immigration to the American South compared to the North and the West. In part because when you have a slave economy, there's not a lot of jobs for poor immigrants to do. So people aren't exactly pouring into New Orleans or, Charleston when they could go to New York or Chicago. I am going to redeploy the American military here just to be prepared to intervene in the Texas Revolution in case they need it. I'm going to have to fund some research here. Colonial migration, educational effectiveness, new national focus. I really think I want that clean coal. Increased coal production, sulfur production output, iron production up, bigger mines. Boom. Let's fund that. We're going to have to pay for all this. Now, early on, the U.S. doesn't make a ton of money, but it has the potential to. So the first thing we have to do is increase tariffs. A little protective tariff is no big deal. In which, by the way, the fact that the game even lets me do this might be one of the most ahistoric things about it. Changing tariff rates was a big federal fight because it was literally what funded the federal government. And that was very much a regional thing. What you thought about tariffs. But you know what? A little 10% tariff never hurt nobody. Our vested interest is trade. We're trading abroad, so let's go ahead and do that. Next, we're going to dramatically slash funding for the Navy. We don't need it right now. We're going to keep the military, the Army high, though, in order to be ready to intervene in the Texas Revolution. But we don't need the Navy for now. Sorry, Navy folks, fans of the Navy. It's just not going to happen. All right. I'll probably end up losing money at the start, but the budget should balance itself out and then start to turn around as new innovations take hold and new technology increases the productivity of the nation. All right, so let's see. Speaking of production, we start off with a bunch of factories, and boy, are a lot of these going to close. We've got this fabric factory here in New England, but there's hardly any craftsmen to work it. We've got a bunch of factories here in Massachusetts, but usually the canned goods factory goes under because 1836 mass production just isn't a thing yet, so it's hard to make enough of any of the things needed. Your app has been glitchy. Can you see this? I can. Yes. Can you see me? Am I glitchy? All right. Oh, aren't you sweet? All right. Coal can make glass. That one's usually pretty profitable. The rest of these fold, though. They just don't produce enough raw materials, and the transportation networks aren't good enough yet to feed the factories. But that's all of what my students have been doing for the last several weeks is the market revolution, the age of Jackson and the transformation of American politics, and we go from there. So we'll see which of these factories stay open. I might have to subsidize a few of them just to keep the money flowing. But, all right, railroad projects are underway. These are good to subsidize as the government, which again, the fact that it lets me do it is such a ahistoric thing, because spending money on internal improvements at the federal level was always a bitter contest. It's why New York builds the Erie Canal, because the federal government couldn't and wouldn't. All right, so let's proceed slowly here. I can't tell if anyone can hear me over the music. It's so loud in my ears. Whew. All right. So it's January 1836. Texas has requested military access. Fine. Actually, let's go ahead and get some influence points invested in some territory that I'm very interested in here. Now, as a great power, I could intervene, but only if the war starts to go badly for Texas. If Texas wins this on their own, I don't have to do a thing. And look at that, the economy's falling off a cliff. Well, we are getting ready for Martin Van Ruin, so Jackson's financial policies are leading us into disaster. Decline, Mexico. So this is what my students have been doing for weeks, is the Second Great Awakening, the Reformation fervor of this time period, specifically looking at the peculiar institution and the increasingly shrill defense of slavery that's coming out of... Uh-oh. Our name has been discredited. Mexico is accusing us of things we never even heard of. We suspect Spain is behind this. So another great power is trying to get in the way here, which is fine. I don't need Mexico to particularly like me. The Second Great Awakening. The wave of religious zeal was sweeping across the USA. Driven by charismatic preachers who called for the faithful to return to the original teachings of the Bible and lead upstanding moral lives, the movement would spawn several new Protestant sects, lead to debates and schisms within established sects over points of theology and ritual, and reinforce the power and influence of Christian teachings among the lower and middle class of the American people at a time when religious fervor in Europe was decreasing. The spirit seizes the imagination. And one of the first books I ever read for grad school was Democratizing American Christianity. That was fascinating to me. It very much informed my decision to not be a religious historian, but it really got me excited about studying the 19th century more specifically. So here we go. All pops in the U.S. will gain 0.3 consciousness, and they all become pretty much more in favor of moralism. All right, Second Great Awakening is on. Brought to you by the Erie Canal and internal improvements. There's a reason why upstate New York becomes the burned over district. It's just been roasted by the love of God. All right. All right, so the military is deploying on the border just to help out, just in case Texas needs us. Because I wouldn't say no to adding a bunch of new territory, especially cattle producing. Wait, what's that? Sulfur. Ooh. I'll take it. Oh my gosh, I completely forgot. Manifest Destiny. I've got to send expeditions to claim Western lands. I'm the U.S. This is practically my reason for existing. We'll send one to Oklahoma. I can't let Mexico colonize Colorado uncontested. Got to at least try. And looks like Oregon. Get in there. All right. We'll have to pay careful attention to those. Again, also, I love how this is just uncolonized. I assure you, indigenous people live there. Like, holy cow. It's my complaint with Paradox games is they really just don't know how to handle non-nation states. Aside from reducing them to being this abstract concept to be sort of brushed aside by the player. Like, with that looks like Britain is also influencing Mexico. Texas War of Independence is still just kind of rambling on. Let's see, 4.1 million. That's the adult male population. Okay. Total population is 16 million. All right. That actually sounds about right. Ooh, and they'll mold cotton fields. Cotton produced in Colombia is of the highest possible quality and strength. So strong, in fact, Colombian cotton that the white ball harvest there have begun to build quite a reputation. Alright, I can gain prestige. Farmers in the area become more conscious, but they lose militancy, or I can send some abroad. Doubles the prestige I gain. Spain and my relation will improve. Yeah, that's fine. Let's send some to Spain. Get that national prestige boosted. Love our cotton. I'm not interested in being allied to anyone right now. Avoid entangling alliances. I love the map, though. Like, it even has the creases and folds in it. That's a gorgeous attention to detail. Ooh, Mexico's increasing its presence in Colorado. If I want to colonize that, I better step up my game. There is a time limit on investments in the area, though. So. Oh, we got collapsing factories already. That didn't take long. Massachusetts canned food factory has closed. However, the glass factory is working. It's a full 10,000 people employed there, with another 10,000 unemployed. Well, the game let me... I could expand the factory. It would cost basically my entire national budget. We won't do that. I agree. I think the music is one of the reasons to play the game. Oh, looks like Texas has occupied El Paso, so it seems like they're doing okay in the war. You know, that's a really good question. I don't know who put together the music for this game. I never actually bothered to look. It's a really good question. Now I'm curious. Ugh. Money is just falling off a cliff here. Also, the fact that, like, the different strata in my country are taxed at 50% is insane. There's no way that that is remotely close to correct, even though the effective tax rate is only like 18.5%. The U.S. economy in this era ran on tariffs and such. Having that kind of tax rate is just preposterous. The time has come. We can expand our colonial investment in Colorado. We set up an expedition already. Now we can send colonists. Boom. All right, how's that war with Mexico? Oh, this is the other thing I love about this, is the complete lack of understanding of how U.S. politics works in this era. And I get it. This game is called Victoria 2. It's meant to represent the British parliamentary system and some of the parliamentary models of Europe, and that's all well and good. It totally does not replicate the political system of the United States, like at all. First off, we have no chief executive, so that's a huge problem right there. Secondly, we only seem to have the upper house, right? There's no mention of the lower house of representatives. And I get it. The Senate is the more important of the two. It was created so by design. When we do our elections is all wrong. The fact that I can even call for special elections is not something that the U.S. does. They get the parties sort of right. And that there's not necessarily a big difference between them, Democrats and Whigs. Right? Interested in free trade, they like interventionism, moralism, full citizenship versus limited citizenship, pro-military versus jingoism. At least they get the Southern Democrats right as a reactionary party. Like, we want no changes to anything. The United States, as it is, protect slavery forever, don't get in our way. It just cracks me up because it's totally bizarre as a model for how the U.S. political system works. All right, so let's see. Mexico, I can, let's see, neutral, cordial. All right, I got to increase my relation with Mexico in order to decrease their relation with Spain, only because if I ever go to war with Mexico, I need another power to not intervene. If I'm ever going to, say, acquire California for the good of the American people, the last thing I need is, like, Britain or Spain landing troops in New York Harbor. More cotton. The USCA this time. Yeah, sure. Keep sending cotton abroad. It keeps boosting my prestige. Wait, how did the Texas Revolution... Oh, we can invest in Oklahoma, and Mexico is now contesting me there. Where else can we... Alright, how's that war going? The Texan War of Independence, I still can't intervene. They seem to be doing okay. Oh, the budget seems to be balancing some. It's the problem in that this era you have industrialization, right? And you're beginning to get urbanization and factory development. But at the start of the game, artisans are still the major manufacturer, right? Your artisans are still out producing your factories. Now that'll change over time, and you want to transition away from artisans towards factory labor. But if you go too early, you can wreck yourself, because your farmers aren't producing enough grains, your mines aren't producing enough raw materials to feed the factories. Oh gosh, what's happening now? Granite Falls, where the colonial police, while in pursuit of two local suspects, have happened to disturb a shrine of some importance to local religiosity. Natives in the area are infuriated over the perceived lack of respect for their religion. Well, this may be ahistoric, but beliefs must be respected. So all the pops in Minnesota that do not belong to the dominant religion gain 3 militancy and 2 consciousness. Alright. So this is a factor for your population. Consciousness represents how likely your citizens are to conceive of themselves as members of a particular group and vote along interests for those groups. So low consciousness societies tend to just support the status quo because, things are fine. Whereas high consciousness people will tend to want to see reforms. And then separate from that is militancy, which basically is how likely they are to want to fight and engage in extra legal activities to promote their reforms, right? Right, it's one thing to let's get a reform for labor to lower the workday from all day to 14 hours versus we're going to use dynamite to blow up people's porches in order to advocate for this. Looking at you, Scranton. Oh, another holy site was disturbed. This one was in Montana. Try and respect the local culture, please. Still no war intervention with Texas. Maybe I won't have to. I prefer to keep my hands clean. Although I hate that I'm funding a military that's standing around doing nothing. Alright. Natives... Not natives. Yeah, I know I'm losing the race in Colorado, but can't yet. Ooh, I can. We're going to construct outposts and try and keep up with Mexico there. I don't yet have enough colonial power to finish off Idaho here. Also, the fact that the Oregon Territory is already pretty neatly divided up makes me chuckle, because this was a huge political issue, right, in 44. 54-40 or fight. And then Polk was like, let's settle for the 47th 46th, 47th parallel. And here it's already divvied up. The Copperheads were a group of Democrats in the northern United States who opposed the war, favored a peace settlement with the South. The moniker originally came from Unionists liking them to poison as snakes, but it soon struck home with the Copperheads themselves. Their staunch resistance to abolitionism in some Democratic circles in Long Island. So let's see, if I do nothing, Long Island will get, for the next year, an increase in consciousness. However, if we debate them, everyone in Alabama will go into defensive mode and get pissed. So, you know what? Free and robust debate is a key part of any healthy democracy. We shall debate the Copperheads. Alright, let's see here. Oklahoma. Can increase my colonies there. Can't yet build a settlement in Colorado. And he hasn't contested me in Oregon, so I might just get that one on its own. Ooh, we can increase our opinion in Hawaii. Let's do that. Because if I'm going to one day annex Hawaii, they need to think well of me. Game music is too loud. Okay, I can work on that. 1 second. Sorry. It started to spin. Do-do-do-do-do. All right, let's see here. I gotta fix this. Let me know, StratJoe, if that's better. I can always turn it down a bit more. I have a hard time with this one because this isn't my usual setup. I have all my sound just right at home. Here is a little, it's a little different. All right, more Copperheads. This time in Pittsburgh. Well, we're going to make everyone in Mississippi angry, but we're going to debate them. Still kind of loud. Okay. Wow, I still can't intervene in Texas. I'm just switching off the thing real quick so that way it doesn't... you don't have to see the map just spinning as I mouse to my other monitor. All right. Let me know if that's better. The problem, too, is different soundtracks, I think, in this game are just... Some are much more... really, they really go for it than others. Okay, I can now intervene in the Texas War of Independence. Let's fight to make Texas free. Even though I don't necessarily agree with all of their causes. Oh, good to know. Thank you, StratJoe. I appreciate that. Thank you for helping me dial that in. All right, time to free Texas. Yeah, the Texas Revolution is complicated. I don't know that they necessarily come off looking super great at times. Let's see here. This is the Army of Observation. And these are Winfield Scott's U.S. Dragoons. We're going to use them to occupy Lubbock. And then we're just going to see if we can goad Mexico into some conflicts here. The good news is the Texians have a nicely balanced army and a very good defensive general. So if Mexico attacks, the Texians can usually win. Whoa! A dry spell in one of our colonies has caused friction. You've seen Texas wipe out Mexico on its own. Oh gosh, that's phenomenal. Whenever I tend to play, they seem to need help, and I don't know if I intervene too quickly or if it's just randomness on my part, but I usually have to intervene, so that's fantastic that you've seen that happen for you. Let's see. Rain will fall sooner or later in Idaho. Depends on the AI. As long as Texas doesn't attack, they win. Right. If they just plop themselves in like the capital, it's so defensible, and let Mexico just break against them, then they're good. Let's see. Farming efficiency and pop militancy. I'll lose some prestige. Farming efficiency and pop militancy. I can get exploitation, but it will really up the population's militancy. That's fine. You know what? Rain will come. The rain will come. My goal now is to just basically get in the way and force Mexico to sue for peace. And then, I don't know. I have a feeling Texas will make an admission for statehood. Create a protectorate in Oregon. And then turn it into a province. Yes, right? Militancy does get conservatives to move on reforms because it's better to reform than to risk, like, a revolt. Let's see here. He's going there. He's coming in. Let's see. He's headed for Albuquerque. Let him go. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. All right. Texas is busy getting El Paso back. I'm liberating Lubbock. What do we got here? Nothing but infantry, and I don't even think they're particularly good infantry as that. I think they're mostly like conscripts. Ooh, we got our first newspaper. The price of silk has steadily risen. The province of Portland now belongs to the U.S. Russian Empire is fighting. Brazil goes to war with Bolivia. Oh, all right. The New York News. I love the newspapers. Like, it's just such a fun little feature. Wow, I'm getting a lot of cotton pop-ups. Let's see. Farmers in Marietta will gain consciousness and lose militancy. Relations between Luca. Give me that prestige. I'll keep doing it. Okay, so he's sieging El Paso. They're sieging that. Yes, you need naval bases and ships for colonial points, but once I get Romanticism, yep, I get Manifest Destiny, which gives me a core on every basically Mexican territory that belonged to the U.S. Which, again, it's amazing the game just lets me do that without it causing a national uproar, because the Mexican War is super unpopular at times because people cry, you know, slave power, conspiracy, and all that. But no, you're good, StratJoe. I don't mind at all. I only sort of get this game. Like, I play the crap out of EU4. I really enjoy Crusader Kings. I sort of get Hearts of Iron. I don't know that I've devoted enough time to it. This game is so opaque to me, I barely know what I'm doing. So, I'm just curious to see if I can, and I've only done it once successfully, end slavery in North America without a war. So we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm going to boost the speed just a tiny bit because, oh my gosh, it's crawling here. National focus attract immigrant doesn't work. A better one is to focus on clergymen. Oh, okay. Oh, the music is so loud in my ears right now. I don't think I realized that. I actually assumed it would increase migrants from abroad. I didn't realize it would. I didn't realize that immigration meant internal migration. So doing it that way doesn't actually. You say better to do clergymen, which in this case is research points, right? Fascinating. All right, I'll play that game. Why not? Let's try it. Research and education. Yep. Even though Horace Mann, the father of American education, does strongly encourage secular education, let's be honest, it's full of Christian principles in this era. So, all right, we're continuing to compete for Oklahoma. We're losing the race in Colorado. New things to do with our spheres. Hawaii is now friendly with me. Holy cow, that's so many Mexican troops in one place. Where on earth are they going? Alright, Lubbock's been liberated. Let me siege down Laredo. Yes. Because when I think of places that I would definitely attack to harm the United States, I think of southern Idaho. You do you, Mexico. You do you. Alright. Oh no, the Brits can't have Oregon. 54-40, it's gotta happen. Status quo, they would not accept. Alright. I guess we just have to convince them. Let's see. May. Alright. Hold back for 2 seconds. Now go back in. Better. I want them to more or less all arrive at the same time. True, I did not do that. Some of the U.S. Generals early on are not particularly inspiring. All right, big victory here. Santa Ana, Winfield Scott got the win. Where are they retreating to? Albuquerque. All right. Scott, you and your dragoons chase them to Albuquerque. The rest... just spread out and get a little more territory. Siege down so that Mexico gives up. Boom. Oh, actually, then don't go there. I don't want any stack penalties. I'll try there instead. Wow. Winfield Scott's dragoons are just hammering the retreating Mexican army. That's tough to watch. Yeah, I bet they would accept. Okay, a lot's happening at once. That's a lot happening at once. All right. So, peace with Mexico means the status quo, which means Texas is now ready to join the United States. And this was an issue that caused so much contention that the U.S. puts it off for like 7 years. It's like 7 or 8 years Texas exists as this quasi-independent thing, which is the weird part because Mexico doesn't necessarily concede that Texas is free. Right? The treaty with Santa Anna only states that he would go back and attempt to persuade the Mexican Congress to grant Texas its independence. So when Texas then turns around and goes, nope, we're free, and applies for statehood, a bunch of people in the U.S. were like, oh, is that legal? Well, here we go. Trust the common man to get it right. We shall add Texas to the Union. All right. And now, American Texas has been granted statehood. The least historic option available. I can choose to make Texas a free state. It will cause consciousness to spike in all of the slave states, but all the free states, well, they calm it down. I think in terms of game systems, it's better to let it become a slave state because that forces northern consciousness to go up, and then they're more likely to clamor for reforms that end slavery. But it's also so contradictory to me that by extending slavery, you end slavery. All right, here we go. Texas does have slavery. It's one of the issues it had with Mexico because Mexico did not have slavery anymore. And the Texans weren't supposed to either, but they got away with it. I'm going to make Texas a free state. Boom. There we go. So, let us cut down spending on the military. I think 50% stockpile is sufficient. We're going to bring the Army of Observation back. Bring the Army of the South. Let's go back to Tallahassee. The U.S. Army can go back to D.C. By the way, the game is cheesy a bit, as you can't avoid the Civil War as it's railroaded, but you can delay it. Yeah, that's the other thing I noticed when I was trying to do this, is that there's basically one triggering event, right? And if that event goes off, you can't avoid the Civil War. Like, it is going to happen, which as a historian drives me crazy because that's so deterministic. But I get it. They released a Civil War expansion. People want to play the Civil War, but to like force it to trigger just feels so fatalistic, and I hate that. But at the same time, if that event doesn't trigger, I can just, with a wave of my hand, right, executive fiat, one day declare slavery over, and the whole country is just like, oh, okay, like, I guess slavery is done now. Which makes no sense either. It is not how that worked at all. The Dragoons, you know what? Let's just have the Dragoons stay handy in case anything happens here. All right, where are my colonies? I can invest in Colorado. What about Oklahoma? Losing the race. I know I'm losing the race in Colorado. I'm working on it. Oop, we got another newspaper. Yep, John Brown's last raid and the Dred Scott. I think, though, the slavery debate, like the slavery question key event, has to trigger first. Which, if we're being honest, the game should start with it because it's the question of American political nature. Like, people won't shut up about it, to the point that Congress puts in place a gag order, which drives Northerners crazy, but Southerners were like, we're not getting anything done. All we're doing is complaining about slavery, so let's move on. And I think that debate has to happen first, and then, yes, Dred Scott and Sanford and John Brown's raid will kick off, which really spikes consciousness in military. And yes, if the upper house becomes too liberal because liberals try to enact certain reforms, the CSA will just bolt because they're like, nope, if you can legislatively end slavery, we want nothing to do with this. Which, that part is probably the most accurate, because it was Lincoln's election that caused the Deep South to be like, oh, screw this, we're done. Like, if the North can elect a North-only candidate on an ostensibly anti-slavery platform, not necessarily abolitionist, but just anti-slavery, then we're out. All right, so there's Afghanistan and Bukhara. The Texan War of Independence has ended with the defeat of Mexico. Luxury clothes has risen. Scientists have done freedom of trade. The Arc de Triomphe was built. That's awesome. Okay. Now, the New York Immigrant Aid Company. All pops in New York gain more consciousness as they seek to help people going abroad. And by abroad, I mean like going to Kansas. Let's see here. Can't reinforce my guard post yet. Not until October. Or is that supposed to be August because they do the dates weird? Ah, the Underground Railroad in Wilmington. So if I shut it down, Idaho will become more conscious. However, Wilmington will get more militancy and consciousness if I leave it. Leave it be. The Underground Railroad's a good thing. The economy's turned around. decreasing military spending and giving time for my artisans to get to work. Looks like we're pumping out some good money here. Right? You're not wrong about that. The worst thing after emancipation is that now all slaves whose needs are being met suddenly become farmers and laborers who don't have any of their needs met, and is suddenly, right, they're very likely to revolt. It's a fascinating set of game mechanics they have, but it totally doesn't layer onto our national history super well. Which I'm very curious to see how they address that in Vicky 3, which is the whole reason I'm playing this now. One, because my students are learning about these things, but two, Vicky 3 is coming, and I'm very interested to see how they're going to tackle these issues. Because this is the era of race-based chattel slavery. It's also the era where it ends and is supplanted by the scramble for Africa. Like, you can't not have these issues be part of the game. Vic 3 hype! Very excited. Here we go, the Benevolent Empire. One direct impact of the religious revivals in the U.S. would be the explosion of a number of voluntary organizations to help improve society. And we actually went through a whole laundry list of these. The New York Female Moral Reform Society, Prison Reform, Dorothea Dix Asylum Reform, Horace Mann Education Reform. Like, it really is a fascinating movement. And this was one of the books that made me love this time period, was Bruce Dorsey's Reforming Men and Women. Absolutely loved that book. Read that one in grad school with Dr. Tamara Thornton in her 19th century class, and was just like, done. This is going to be my time period. Love it. For the betterment of society. Everyone loses militancy. Sure. I guess that could be an effect of the of the Benevolent Empire. All right, Hawaii is now in my sphere. Increase relations with Mexico. Ooh, the Netherlands have a model colony. There's abolitionist pamphlets. Hey, you should enjoy it. I give full credit to Dr. Dorsey. It was a really good read. An extensive tract describing the purported unconstitutionality of slavery is being widely disseminated in St. Louis. Allowing it to continue to circulation might upset the lower classes, but attempting to curtail it will definitely be regarded as an attack on freedom of speech. Now, if I'm being correct, I should choose yes, limit distribution, because opponents of abolitionism were very keen on that. They loved smashing people's printing presses. They loved opening people's mail and piling like letters in the street and burning them. However, this is America, and the First Amendment rules, although not at the state level in this era. So I will not curtail the distribution. Let the chips fall where they may. All right, come on, Colorado. I've never had Mexico fight me this hard for these colonies. Usually they give up by now, or they run out of invested colonial points. They're really they're really making a play for this. All right, what factories do I have left? Oh gosh, how is the New England fabric factory still in operation? Can't infringe free speech of infringing free speech. So let's see. The glass factory is fully armed and operational, and is actually it's actually doing okay. It's getting enough coal to meet its demands, which is impressive. The New York cement factory wasn't able to, though. And then there's coal and iron, which is making steel, but there's nobody in Pennsylvania working in this factory. It employs like 3,000 people. Wahoo. I could reopen this and fund it myself, but I feel like I'd be better off just letting people move to where there are jobs than forcing jobs. Right. The cement industry I have read is one of the better ones because it's so useful, right? You use cement in just about everything in this game. So places that manufacture it, it never seems to have a lack of a need on the market. And New Yorkers are looking for jobs. And we are making some money here. You know what? I will subsidize resources and wages for this factory to get it up and off the ground. And then let's do what we can to increase coal production, making it to these key areas. So we're going to have to subsidize some railroads, I think. Leave the Underground Railroad alone. Let's do the most American thing we can and spend lots of government money on railroads. So let's see. Can expand the railroad through there. Cleveland already has it. Lots of lumber coming out of Sandusky, Ohio. Good. Don't curtail their things there. Food, cotton. I know there's more coal, more wood. Actually, wait, I'm an idiot. All I have to do is... There we go. Now I can see what everyone's producing. So I have to make it over to Chicago, Roxford, Champaign. These will get me... Okay, pop-ups, you're killing me. Yeah, that's better. I need to get infrastructure all the way out here. That'll get coal moving back east and get the factories going. Beliefs must be respected. Now, let's see. I think Rochester and Syracuse already have projects to fund. Yep, they're mostly funded. Private investors are putting up the cash to build a railroad in Rochester. All right, then. Oh, okay. It doesn't, like, they'll still use regular infrastructure to, like, move it in between the places where the railroads don't connect. Well, in that case, railroad in Chicago. That'll boost production nicely. And so will the new clean coal technology. General so-and-so has died. Oh, no. Anyway. Medicine increases a lot of nice tech. Factory throughput. Tech is really nice for getting a lot of new things built. Cotton production, wool production, timber output. Medicine really is a good one, isn't it? Supply limit plus 25%. And yes, the birth rate increase, which is the word I was going for, and I completely, stumbled. I couldn't think of the damn phrase. Thank you. Birth rate. Boom. Let's do it. Ooh, new newspaper. Anything good in the world? Steamer convoys has risen. Oh, boy. The Ottoman Empire has expanded. Ooh. Oh, the USCA has invented dragoons. Well, then. Keep investing in my colonies here. Oh, okay, hold on. We got a lot now. We can create a protectorate up here in Seattle. Good. Which will very quickly become a colony. That will join the already existing colony. Good. We can create states. Iowa. Yes, we're going to create a state. It is going to be a free state. Ditto Wisconsin. Again, the most unhistoric part, that I'm able to just add free states to the Union, which means more senators, more House of Reps for the election of the presidency. There's no way Southerners in Congress would be okay with this. Right? They would be fighting tooth and nail to add new states to the South. Through things like, I don't know, a giant war with Mexico. Speaking of such things, how's politics looking here? All right, almost 25% Whigs in the upper house. Although at this point, the Whigs are struggling to make inroads. Although the economy crashing in 1937 gives them an actual platform. That's why they come back strong in 1840 with William Henry Harrison, who is president for like 4 weeks and dies. In tech, the tree of medicine are the best, and then you need texts that increase national foci. Yeah, I won't lie. I don't know necessarily how to effectively utilize the focuses that I get. Let's see. Increase the aristocrat consciousness or labor consciousness. There hardly are any aristocrats, so let's just do that one. New state in Michigan. Free state air horn. All right. So we've got medicine incoming. We're steadily making money. That's good because we're going to turn around and reinvest it in the well-being of the U.S. There's Binghamton right where I am right now. It's having a good old time. Can't build railroads yet because it's too rocky, but we'll get there. Ditto Albany. Although Albany at this point is going to have the Erie Canal, which also it kills me that the game does not allow canals as a form of investment, because I know they get overshadowed by railroads, but it is almost impossible to overstate the importance of canals in this moment, right? The market revolution is canal building. Oh boy, secessionist sentiments. Where are they? Georgia. So it begins. Okay. Oh, sorry. I missed a couple here. For NF, best thing to use is to max 4% clergy, then soldiers and craftsmen. And then if you are stuck in a democracy, you can manipulate votes with them. You can build Suez and Panama. Oh, and I know, and those are definitely the most famous ones, but I think we don't give enough credit to how much, right, things like the Erie Canal transform the U.S. economy, right? Syracuse, Rochester, Buffalo, I mean, they're instant cities because of that canal. It dramatically changes grain production, timber industries. Like, it connects New York City to the Great Lakes. That explodes a whole bunch of new trade with Canada, it makes Chicago the hub that it is, because you could get stuff to Chicago and then float it across the lakes way before the railroad ever got there. And I know I'm going a little crazy here, but I do love this moment, and canals are a huge part of it. All right, more rebel scum. Where are they? North Carolina. Okay. And the German one in Danish land. Yes, those canals. Oh God, now where? Jackson, Mississippi. Yep. All right. Secessionist scum is forming here. St. Augustine, so Florida. Okay. Oh God, Montgomery. It's happening. I've managed to raise consciousness enough, and I've managed to piss off enough Southerners that they're now talking about going away. Virginia. Louisiana. I mean, at the base level, I love it. All pops in Louisiana become 20% more in favor of slavery allowed. There weren't a lot that weren't in favor of that, but okay, that's fine. Yep, the CSA is getting its cores. Here we go. Oh, gosh, Mexico is like... Scientists have discovered coke. Ooh, good. Coal production output plus 50%. Yes, give me that coal for those factories. Which reminds me, how are we looking here? Yeah, the New York cement factory. It's working. Current stockpile. Okay, hold on. I know there's a better place to sort this out. Let's see here. Our laborers are producing 68 coal each day. Bunch is sold domestically. World markets are buying more than are being supplied, so it sounds like it's in pretty high demand. Oh yeah, coal's in high demand. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, it's too easy to manipulate war. My favorite is to send Dixie or Yankee cultured troops in a nice vacation in Africa during the Civil War. Oh yeah, like you can totally game it, right? Like by just, oh, the Confederacy is going to secede. Well, let's send all of you, troops on a nice long trip to like Haiti or go sit in Liberia, and then I'm not bringing you home. It's way too easy to game it. Yeah. There it triggers. I cannot peacefully end slavery anymore, not unless I run out the clock. In which case, I would rather just get the war over with than allow like multiple generations to have to live and die while the slavery ends peacefully. Yep. There's no way to end it now. Expires in 1868. It does open up a whole bunch of interesting decisions that enact named events from our history. And for pedagogical purposes, I like that. I like when students see these things because repetition leads to retention. So the more you see the House Gag Rule, the Kansas-Nebraska Act, right, they stick. But I also don't like them because, just like historically, they're not solutions, right? They're putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. It just lets you bleed to death slower. So I actually don't tend to enact them because I try to just get the war over with and move on. Rebel scum. Maryland, huh? Ugh, that's not great. No, don't want you to. Alright, I can invest in... Ha-ha! That was enough to get Oklahoma. And now, I have finally taken the lead in Colorado. And just maybe, I'll steal a tiny piece of British Columbia here while I'm at it. Now who's joining? Kentucky. Eee. Oh, there she is, Queen Victoria. That's who the game is named for. Rebel scum. The District of Columbia. Ugh. Also, I love how they broke up some of the territories, like New York, New Jersey, and New England will just do one big slab. Massachusetts can be its own thing. We'll just throw Rhode Island in there for good measure. And Connecticut. Like, let's not bother with them. But the one that absolutely chortles me is there's no South Carolina. There's just Georgia. One giant slab of Georgia. Like, South Carolina secedes a full, month before Georgia does. But in this game, it's like, it's just one big thing. Just take it. Okay, now we've got cash flowing in. Let's see about increasing that infrastructure. I feel like the nation's capital has got to have it. Let's see. There's good money to be made in lumber. Ooh, more coal production. Yes, I will need that. And then just a bunch of other things. All that tobacco in the Chesapeake. Cotton as you get farther south. Though Charleston's got coal, that's fascinating. Houston. All right. Isaac Hull is dead. Oh no. Who? And we'll compete with Britain a little bit for British Columbia here, just because. See what happens. All right, medicine's coming in. Cash flow is coming in. Mostly, I believe, funded by... Yeah, a good chunk of it's coming from tariffs. Hey, Horace Mann, there he is. You can never be too educated. We get prestige, we get more plurality, and we get a bunch of research points. Boom. That's phenomenal. We are exporting timber, liquor, and cotton. Our artisans must be making the liquor, because I don't have a liquor factory anywhere. I should really increase cotton and timber production. Now who's seceding? Arkansas. I'm surprised it took them this long. Also grains. 2, 2.3, 4. Looking for a big bread basket. 6.7. That's not bad. 7.5. That's the biggest one yet. Yeah. The American Methodist Episcopal Church. All Afro-American pops gain one consciousness. All right, let's see here. I can't believe I forgot my regular headphones at home. Yes! Finally succeeded in getting Colorado. Let's see. I would open the lumber mill back up, but there's just not enough population in New York to support it. Like, we don't the cement factory isn't even working at full capacity. And actually it's losing money. How come? What's it missing? It's spending too much to acquire the coal. Spending too much to acquire the coal. Okay, we can work that out. Unitarianism in America. All right, liberals gain one consciousness. Build a railroad in Pennsylvania. Oh, for gosh sakes, just fund it already. Here's my coal. Laborers are producing 69 coal each day. Well, let's get more. The girl from Chattanooga. Local consciousness. Someone died tragically in an accident. Missouri gets a core. Jeez. Let's get some more coal production. What is my favorite game? It's a really good question. Hey, we researched medicine. I mean, growing up, point-and-click games were my jam. I love the Quest for Glory series. I try to replay those like once a year. They're one of my absolute favorites. They're silly. They're irreverent. They have the RPG elements. They have the combat. They have the puzzle solving. I'm a big fan of those. More recently, I played a ton out of Total War, Warhammer 1 and 2. I played Warhammer in college and loved it. And when Games Workshop went away from the Warhammer Fantasy and started doing Age of Sigmar, I just lost interest. And then Creative Assembly comes along and is like, oh, here's Warhammer, the video game. And it was perfect for me. I loved everything about it. And I put an uncomfortable amount of hours into those games. If I'm playing with other people, I really enjoy shooters. Warzone, I really love battle royales. Warzone was a lot of fun. Cheaters, notwithstanding, I still enjoyed playing. Every time you get that chicken dinner, it was always a blast, right? But I'm really looking forward to the new Halo. I've been loving playing the free multiplayer for now. That's been a lot of fun. That's a really cool way to sort of blow off some steam. So it really depends what kind of a mood I'm in. But I think if push came to shove, anything that has like a city builder or resource management focus on it is a big win for me. So like your Sim Cities, your oh gosh, what's the game where you're like stuck in this frozen wasteland and you have to survive on coal? Frostpunk. That game was so much fun to me. I loved having to basically balance the like resources and the food. Yes, thank you. Right, that one was a blast. Surviving Mars. Even I don't like Surviving the Apocalypse as much. It just doesn't hook me. But anything like that, resource management, sort of top-down focused games are a big hit for me. All right, let's get a new tech after that. We got medicine. Mining and farming output. I like the thought of that, but that's a lot of research points. I'm thinking I go romanticism in order to gain manifest destiny. Checking culture, tree for tech, that increases research points. Oh, good call, good call, good call. Idealism, we're not there yet. Because it's not yet 1840. We're close, though. We are close. I know, when that one happens, it's awesome. All right, let's see here. We can enact the Trail of Tears. I don't think I want to. All pops in the U.S. that are Cherokee and not already in Oklahoma decrease by 20%. Gain consciousness. They lose militancy? That's weird. And then they move to Oklahoma, where they gain a bunch as a core, but it does mean they get accepted as a culture. You can stock up to 12 months of research points. Oh, I didn't know that. I assumed if I didn't have a research going, I would lose it. Do it and liberate the Cherokee. I like that, right? Just purposely set them free. Sorry, you're out. You're gone. Continue to debate them. The gag rule just loses consciousness because it lets everyone calm down a little bit. Kansas-Nebraska Act. Southerners will lose consciousness, but Northerners will throw a fit. Abolitionists will resent us for it, but it might be necessary to preserve the Union. Nah, we're not going to do it. Who's now? Oh, Tennessee. I'm shocked Tennessee wasn't already part of that. Let's see. I got almost 20,000 in the bank. Let's put it to good use. How are we doing? Factories. Pennsylvania's unsubsidized steel mill is just kind of sort of limping along. The cement factory's doing okay. Glass factory continues to be profitable. Is there foreign demand for glass? Or even a domestic? Glass is in high demand. I might double the size of that glass factory. Put more Massachusetts men to work. That would also increase consumption of cement as they build it. Glass is for liquor. You know, you're not wrong. Should build a... Well, I can't build. I can only intervene. Ooh, good. Good, a medicine discovery here. Knights of the Golden Circle. Ugh, my gut is to suppress them, but I'm going to leave them be because of First Amendment reasons. Let's expand that factory. And you know what? Just in case they have trouble, I'll subsidize them for a little bit. Fugitive Slave. Sorry, he made it to a free state. He stays in Illinois. You can finance projects and foreign investments. So the first time I really started to play this, I still barely know what I'm doing, but I had no clue what I was doing. And I was just funding like factories everywhere in the world, not really paying attention to like whether or not there were people in those provinces who could like work at them. So I've got like 15 furniture factories and I'm wondering why I'm losing money every month. It was entirely because, I would plop it somewhere that did, yes, have like wood, but would have like 15 guys who could work in the factory. I had to sort that one out eventually. Leave the Underground Railroad be. Leave them be. Now, let us continue to do investments here. Buffalo. Wow, Buffalo produces timber like it's their job. Actually, so does Concord. Oh. Okay, hold on. A lot's happening here. All right, so Concord, I feel like Oprah. You get a railroad. Lewiston. Okay, yeah, New England is making the timber. Let's get that. Let's get New England timber flowing into the economy here. That'll boost things. Rock me in my cradle. Send it to the neighbors. Relations with the two Sicilies. I mean, I don't care about the two Sicilies, but I do like that prestige. Boom. Give it to me. Invest in countries like Brazil to gain influence, then get them in their sphere. Mexico is going to bully you. Check their military. You're not wrong. Let's take a peek. See what we're looking at here. All right, how are we doing? Score 0-0. Military power 11. All right, puts them the 32nd most powerful there. They are strong for a democracy to fight against. That's true. They can bring their forces, but the good news is there's a lot of defensible terrain. Either it's mountains or it's against rivers and forests. So if they want to come at me, I'm willing to let it happen. And there we go. A national election, 1840. William Henry Harrison, the Log Cabin Campaign. One of the best elections in our national history. And then he goes and dies. And we get John Tyler, the president nobody wanted. Oh. Mouse over the 11. Oh, good call. So they count as a civilized nation. I mean, if I have to, I'll re-up my investment in the military. I'm making enough money. Copperheads, debate them. Yes, they will wait for the Civil War and then and then strike. Won't they? Diplomacy screen check Mexico. All right. Looks like Colombia is an ally. Mouse over to 11. On their military, you say? Soldiers and Army, 4.1. Capital ships. Wow! Leaders. They must have a heck of a general. Or just a lot of generals. It's not a lot of soldiers. But what they can muster is well led, I guess. By comparison, what are we looking at? Oh, my leaders are 14. My soldiers is more than double theirs. Napoleon, probably. Yeah, the Napoleon of the West. Here we go. Which reminds me. Who do we got here? Winfield Scott. Yes, use him. Zachary Taylor. Attack 1, good morale. Jessup. Low speed and low experience. Okay attack. Okay morale. Attack morale. Good. I mean, I don't really care about the admirals as much. Who's this guy? Whoa, he is a heck of an attacker. Slight morale penalty. Oh god, this guy sucks. You're not being deployed. You're a debutante shirker. No one wants you. Ewing. Ugh. No. Okay. What's this? No. No. Gosh, some of these people are terrible. Holy God. Ooh, you're good. Massive morale penalties. But good attack and defensive organization. Nah, I'll keep him as a backup. Matthew Perry. Biddle, not bad. Fine. Okay. Ugh. Should consolidate my military at some point, but... Whoa, what the heck was that spike about? Something's being bought by something internally. Massachusetts, is upgrading its glass factory, but we knew that already because I'm the one who's paying for it. The federal government's just writing a big old check to private enterprise right now. Let's see. Grain on Long Island. Yeah. That's not great. That's not bad. Those are both pretty good. Denmark. Again, I don't care. Just give me the prestige. All right, our trade policy debate. Here we go. Hardly anyone. I don't really know that I want to make people more militant. The war's going to happen anyway, so... Excuse me. Imperative that our merchants are allowed to travel freely. Freedom and liberty shall not perish from the earth. All right. The Old Man in the Sea. A fisherman off Newark coast has brought in an enormous catch. His trawler is practically teeming with the riches of the richest of oceans as he anchors in the harbor. All right, so we can either date a bunch of fish or lose militancy. The people in Newark particularly militant. Oh, yeah. You know what? Let's just increase our national stockpile of fish. We can resell it elsewhere. Everyone loves old fish. Ooh, Knoxville. Let's get more coal production. Upcountry Tennessee, which was this close to becoming a new state during the Civil War. They were going to try and create East Tennessee the same way they created West Virginia. What stopped it from happening was the fact that the rest of Tennessee was subdued so quickly. There was no need to split off a new state, so they just kept them intact. All right, religion is a private matter. Moralism will get militant. Moralism gets militant. Atheism, huh? I just don't need the militancy. We will help you. All right, go US. Something is churning out money for me. Trade is up. I love it. What are we exporting? Timber, liquor, and cotton. I mean, the liquor's got to come from my artisans, right? Because I don't have a factory for it. There we go. American grains plus glass equals liquor. Our artisans are producing 93.8 liquor each day. Well then. And the domestic glass market is just gobbling up. Both the factory and artisans are making glass. That'll inverse eventually. But for now, Copperheads, debate them. What else can I do? I can create a new state in Florida. Create the state. And because this game makes no sense, we're going to make Florida a free state. No slavery for you. The British beat me out in British Columbia. Womp womp. Oh well. That now means there's a bunch of new farmers who probably aren't getting their needs met. It's fine. We will help them get their needs met. Give them residency. Let them have full citizenship. Yeah, full citizenship. Let's boost the Whigs as much as we can. And cement factory is still doing okay. It's kind of fluctuating. I'd love to have more workers for that lumber mill, but I just don't see it. Oh, the New England one closed. All right, and here we have, again, coalitions, which is just not how we're a winner-take-all country when it comes to our elections. This is very much a parliamentary thing. Pennsylvania, glass is still going. 1,200 craftsmen in New England need jobs, but I don't think we're just not getting enough dyes. Oh, they are producing iron in state. They're producing coal in state. That's good for Pennsylvania. All right. Knights of the Golden Circle, leave them be. He stays in Ohio. Oh, I'd love to... Pittsburgh. I'd love to increase that, but I don't have the railroad tech yet. Actually, speaking of which, our budget's pretty good. I think I want to increase our admin efficiency. Boost it, and I want to increase funding for education. Let's train those preachers. They can, in turn, get us more research, increase national literacy, you name it. Let's put the bounty of the nation's economy to good use. Let's see. Philadelphia gets a blood and iron mine. Mining efficiency jumps 125%, but it will increase militancy because people don't like, that we're dying in the mines. Gosh, that's going to really up iron, though. You know what? We're going to dwarf it. Greedily and deep. Go, go, go. America needs that iron. Do I have any other iron being produced? Smallpox outbreak. No. Every life is precious. We can enable to resist, you say. Try and stop the spread. Alright, what do we got in Watertown? Watertown, just a little iron production. Oh! Alright. Railways are getting completed here. Probably should expand some there. Oh! Railroad's been built. Because cotton is a big export for me. So anything that boosts that is probably a good thing. Although I'm hesitant to spend money in the South because I know they're about to revolt. Probably shouldn't think like that. Perhaps if I'd spent more money on the South, they would consented to stay in the Union. So supply limit, factory throughput, RGO output, and troop movement. It's that RGO output that I really like. All right. Got a lot of investment going on here. Not much else is happening, though. What's Mexico up to? Their reserves are mobilized. Oh! Mexico's at war with the UCSA in Venezuela. I wonder how that's going. And it looks like Colombia broke their alliance with them. Liberals are above 30%, aka the Whigs. All right, I've been going for an hour and a half. Probably try to do another 30 minutes, and then I do have more grading I have to do. I should get back to that, but I'm so enjoying myself here. Clay and Douglas draft. Henry Clay, Stephen A. Douglas presented a draft proposal for a compromise in the slavery issue, so basically 1850. That will lose a bunch of consciousness. Reform movements. Outlawed. 8% of the population wants this. Yeah, that sounds about right. Nobody wants to fix votes. We already have all these things. We should head towards... we should try to get towards secret ballots. I know it's not good for the ruling party, but it definitely increases immigration, and that's good for factories. Chemotherapy. Beautiful. Ooh! Pit coal. Another boost to coal production. Yes! Love it. It's a good thing. Okay, what happened? Oh, respect the holy sites. It's been a while since we'd had a native incident. Romanticism. Good. Now we can do idealism. Give me those extra research points. Boom. And, yep, manifest destiny. To bring civilization from coast to shining coast has always been the grand mission of our great republic. The guy who coins the term manifest destiny is definitely a filibuster who is like arrested and tried for trying to raise money to invade like Spanish Cuba. He's totally one of those people who wanted us to not only go coast to coast, but like conquer all of Central and South America, right? Never stop, always expand forever. We're doing it. I now got a bunch of whoop. No, wait, that's the wrong slider. Put that back down to 50% before the poor go insane. No, I wanted to increase what I'm spending on the military. Because we are going to get the army ready. Where's the Dragoons? Army of the South. And the U.S. Army. Now that I have a casus belli, a flimsy one, but still, it is time to expand the United States. Ooh, vaccination. Army attrition and military hospitals more effective. Good. This is the way. Let's see, what else can I do? The Fugitive Slave Act. Ugh, that was reprehensible. It will decrease a lot of southern pops. I'm not surprised. Proposes that the island of Cuba should be annexed to the United States. That will really piss off the UK and Spain and France and just about everyone else. But Southerners will like it. I haven't looked at the paper in a while. The USCA stands with us. The relation between the Central American government and ours has never been better. Wonderful. Well, between Mexico and the USCA. Ugh. Ooh, speech is a kind of act. Ralph Waldo Emerson's first collection of essays was published. France goes to war. Tunis. Oh, poor Tunis. They're not going to stand a chance. France is going to beat them up. Now. What I need to figure out is whether or not any great powers are going to intervene in Mexico. No longer need all that influence spent on Hawaii. I have a truce with Mexico, right? When will that end? I can't go to war with them while I have a truce. Ugh. Neutral, 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 neutral. Cordial with Spain. Ugh. Would Spain come into the war if I was to attack Mexico? What's Spain's deal? Yikes. Spain is more powerful than me militarily. They're not as prestigious, and they don't have the industry, but they wield far more soldiers, and their fleet could put a hurting on my surface fleet. Still have a truce with them. Send it abroad. No, I'm not starting the war yet. It's not the right time. Man. What I think I need are more ships. Now, let's see. Transports are nice. Commerce raiders are better. Don't have any of those yet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get those going. Some steam transports would be nice. Actually, some men of war probably would fit the bill. Norfolk, Lewiston. And then when you're done, let's get some transports. All right. Spent a tiny fortune on the Navy, but that'll help provide some jobs and some money. I'm going to increase the size of the Navy, leave them alone. Let's see here. Request for military access from Mexico? No. Right, I understand we have a truce, but for how long? Where is that information hidden? Where the heck is that information hidden? Is it under mine? Do I have to like... Protect their interests now. Ooh, upper house was rearranged. More and more Whigs are getting elected to office. It's a good thing. Slowly chipping away at their negative feelings of me. Let the Free Staters settle. They're Free Staters. They go where they want. The Mexican War of Costa Rican Freedom, huh? Right, because I'm breaking a truce. I need someone smarter than me to point out where the heck the truce screen is, because I can't find it. I have no idea how long the truce is going to last. Don't want it negative 100 prestige. And I'm sure it's a pop-up somewhere that I'm just missing. But I don't know where I'm supposed to look to find this information. Just keep pushing my relations with them ever so slightly. Oh, the Amistad decision. Here we go. All pops gain 2 consciousness. 5% become more in favor of outlawing slavery. Boom. Like it. Alright, well, I guess for now I'll just keep my eyes open. I have no idea how I'm supposed to figure out when my truce with Mexico is going to end. Keep debating the Copperheads. Let the Free Staters settle. Ooh, money is spiking again. Is there something down here I could do that would be good? Iron. Ooh, fruit. Ah, they don't allow foreign investment. Let's see what's going on there. Allied with Chile. That does allow me to build things. Amazonia has some craftsmen. They've got some craftsmen. The rest don't. So even if I build a factory, there's no one to work at it presently. Still, daily output. Acquire daily inputs. It's pretty slim profit margins here. That's not bad. Wow, is that brutal? Fabric Factory is like the best one. The inputs are cheaper than the outputs. I could make good money there. Assuming there's anyone to work at it. Fabric Factory, just gonna print money, huh? Mexico's now opposed to me. I did it. Hey, our truce is over. I can create a new state in Nebraska. Okay, there's too much going on at once. I'm not paying attention here. Colonial province. Free state Nebraska. All right. The new Navy is popping up. It's good. Now we just see whether or not this was a good idea. So the first thing that's going to happen, we're going to seize Mexican Texas. This army is going to be ready to react. Mexico was just at war. In fact, it's still at war, so most of its soldiers should be busy. And it has already mobilized its reserves. It has nothing fresh left to draw for us. That should give us the opportunity to seize a couple of key territories here that'll fulfill Manifest Destiny. But I don't feel good about this as a U.S. historian. This is definitely taking advantage of Mexico. That hits all a little too close to home. All right, let's see. So the occupation is proceeding. Let's just keep an eye out for Mexican forces on their way. Keep the U.S. Army in reserve to respond to any attacks here. Idealism! Boosted research points. Yes! Now, let's see. Strategic mobility, muzzle-loading rifles, artificialism. We're going to get those muzzle-loading rifles. The Civil War is coming. Let's get our best military tech ready. Alright. Mexican occupations proceeding. It kills me. Compared to other other Paradox games, this part is so slow. The occupation of provinces takes forever. It's so tedious. Alright, let's see here. New Commerce Raider. Let's get a bunch of these together. Oh, no, wait. New Man of War, you stay. Add them to that. Where are you? Steam Transport, you stay at Baltimore. Commerce Raider, go to DC. There we go. Bunch of Commerce Raiders coming together. I like it. That's a steam transport. No, don't be like that. Good. Good. Okay. How are we doing over here? Oh, U.S. Dragoons have almost finished occupation. I have a doctorate, you know. Occupying. So let's send them up to Santa Fe, where they'll open a restaurant. Fire Eaters. The Pops in Raleigh, where the Pop is not slave, gain consciousness. All men are created equal. Fire Eaters, deal with it. Oh, we've pushed the reactionaries too hard. Southern Democrats are gaining votes. But so are the Whigs, as the National Democratic Party is just kind of floundering. They're not sure how to deal with all this. Debate the Copperheads. Okay, good. El Paso is now under my control. There was a way to add war goals here. Oh, there it is. Gosh, couldn't find it. Let's see. Adding this war goal. Yes, let's add the war goal. I like it. We shall also acquire New Mexico from you. Ooh. We can enact reforms. Enough of the upper house is ready. Let's see. The vote. Right now, the rich count their vote 3 times, the middle class twice, the poor once. If I make it everyone the same, then that'll really up immigration. I mean, by another percentage point. 13% of the population wants it. There's a lobbying for it. If we do non-secret ballots, only 2% of the population wants that. Nobody wants us to get rid of the Senate and base it on basically another house. So No, I don't care about that. We already allow meetings, free press, and trade unions are a thing, which this doesn't feel right for the 19th century U.S. Trade unions get a rough start in this country. Let's do universal voting. This is the age of Jackson, after all. What would be more appropriate than universal manhood suffrage? Oh my gosh, the Army of the South is taking its sweet time. Bunch of new fleets just came ready. Leviathan, huh? Commerce Raider. Agamemnon. And some of the boat names are just fantastic. Commerce Raider and a steam transport. Commerce Raider, you come with me. You go up there. Probably should pay attention to what's happening to my army so that I'm not getting attacked by Mexico while I'm busy playing with the Navy. There's a big old squid. That's good. What do we got here? Frigates, steam transports, good. Commerce Raiders. Oh, and a steam transport. How'd you sneak in there? Steam transport. All right, good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somewhere out there is another Commerce Raider, but that's okay. Let's occupy some more territory here, see what we can get out of Mexico. Time to strike while the iron is hot. They would not accept this deal. I don't have a high enough war score yet. Not surprised. We're working on it, though. We're working. Argentina, give me that prestige. Once I have Albuquerque, I'll have everything I need for a ticking war score against Mexico, which will really up my score. There we go, and make it easier to get this done. All right, occupations are underway. Encouraging clergymen, which is nice. Come down here. Bunch of commerce raiders. Frigates, transports and transports. Bunch of frigates and transports. Frigates and men of war. Maybe I only built 5. I thought I owed us 6. Oh, Serbia, huh? Forced repayment of debts. I bet that'll go over like a fart in church. Does Serbia owe me money? Oh, wow, I'm financing other people. All right. They're taking out loans from the bank of Dr. Riley. Yep. Ooh, I could go to war with Serbia to get back a whopping 54 pounds. I'd spend more on the transport costs getting my soldiers there, so I think we're not going to do that. Ooh, here comes some Mexican troops. Oh boy. Yeah, here comes the army. Alright, it's just a matter of being prepared. Got to win a couple battles against them and then go from there. Ooh, this is the 20th of October issue. I don't know if they'll get out in time. They did. They're going to reinforce. Yeah, that's what I thought. Alright, 15,000 men are going to attack my 9,000. Cavalry. Cavalry reinforce. Because I got a pretty good defense, and he's having to cross. Yep, terrain is not in his favor. But let's get better combined arms against their infantry. Oh, I won. He is fleeing to Monclova. You go there and intercept. Run them down while their morale is still low. Let's really put a hurt on them. Knights of the Golden Circle. It's fine. Leave them alone. Ow. Jeez. He's hurting my dragoons. Yeah, this should force him to run. If he sees fresh infantry coming in. Ow! Why is he hurting my horsemen so much? There we go. Combined arms for the win. Where's he going? Finish him off. Follow the Mexican army and destroy it. If they don't have troops in the field, they can't protect their territory. Another win to the war score. All right, now their army is down. Oof. Poor dragoons, that sucked. Liberals and reactionaries, the poor moderates are getting pushed to the side. How are we doing? Boy, that New York cement factory continues to just lose money. Meanwhile, my glass factory in Massachusetts is doing great. Alright, what can I do that would get me more cement use, huh? Could build more infrastructure. That'll use up steel and cement. Still walking. Yeah. It's not a bad amount of cattle. Let's get that going. Alright, enough of that. Back to the war. Surely Mexico wants to give up by now, right? They would not accept this offer, huh? We have won a victory. Alright. How's my war score? Only that. Is there secret Mexican forces that are like sieging me down somewhere? Nope. Alright. Let's just keep taking territory from them then. The war score is ticking in my favor because I have the territory I said I wanted. Mexican Texas and New Mexico, so... Alright, it's just a matter of time. It's 1844, there should be an election happening. Moral crusaders, wickedness must be stamped out. A place in the sun. I'll pretty much always take anything that increases prestige. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, here we go. Whoa, the Colombian army finally arrived. Yikes. They almost caught me with my pants down. But I did just research new muzzle-loading rifles, so we're going to push those to the front. Lickety-split. Admin efficiency is up. Farming and mining output. Market functionality. There we go. Let's get that going. Okay, he's coming in. Nope, now he stopped. He's headed up to Laredo. If I can get his army to split up, I'd love to smash it in detail. That would be great. I kind of forgot that Columbia was involved here. Looks like they brought some cavalry with them. First, let's combine and smash this tiny army here. And then we'll see about turning our might on the big Columbian army. Oh, check your clergymen foci. They are near 4%. I can move on to other populated states. Good call. Good call. Yep, Massachusetts is good. So we can ditch that one. And go somewhere like Pennsylvania. Yes, hardly any in Pennsylvania. Can you move the followers' goals so we can see the top bar? Yes! Give me 2 seconds. Oh, there's a shot of my son. Pop this down here with me. And pop that back up. And my little 5-month-old griffin. There we go. All right, there we go. Yes, I'm glad you said that. I forgot that top bar was up there. I can find a better place to stick that. I mean, I probably could take it down. I managed to get past my followers' goal, so don't have to keep asking. Okay, these two are on their way. Yeah, that's my son Griffin. He's awesome. I'm very happy to be a father. Right, I mean, I should just should pop it up to a more ambitious goal now. All right. Oh, we caught them flat-footed. Caught the Colombians flat-footed. My reinforcements are barely going to get there in time. You have 3. Wonderful. How old, if you don't mind my asking? Five, 2, and 1. Oh, that's phenomenal. Congratulations. I mean, you've had them for a while. Perhaps congratulations is not the right word, but as a new father, that's fantastic. All right. So that Colombian army just got smashed. If we can knock down this one, I think we will be in good shape to force them to sue for peace. They still won't accept it, but that war score is a lot higher now. Okay. Oh, gosh. All right, there we go. Better. Leader attack is off the charts. Once we get past their dig in, we'll be in great shape. No real knights in a long time. Understandable. You know what? I'd be happier if I reinforced a little. They're putting up a much better defense than I thought they would, given... Oof. Alright, he won, but, like, barely. They're headed to El Paso, you say. You go this way. You two follow to El Paso. I won't lie. It's my wife keeps telling me I have to stop telling people this, but Griffin is a phenomenal nighttime sleeper. We got very lucky there. He doesn't nap great during the days, but I almost don't care because he is such a good nighttime sleeper. It's been lovely to be able to actually get full night's rest. Although it doesn't seem to be doing me any good. I'm super behind this semester. I pride myself on like being able to do my job and get everything done, and I am struggling to get like all my work done on time. My poor students. It's a good kind of chaos though. All right, there. Elections are starting. 1844. Won that battle. My first one was great, sleeping 16 hours at like 3 months, and the other 2 were nightmares. Yeah, I worry about that myself, right? If we were to have any more, which we're not thinking about it, we're not there yet. But, what if they turn out to be demons and we had a really good sleeper? I would hate for it to then be, well, guess I'll never sleep again. All right, these are like fresh levies that they're raising. They have almost no morale. And I'm about to stack wipe what's left of the Colombian army, I think. Which I totally get why later Paradox games made us that you can't just chase down a retreating army and like slaughter it every step of the way, because that's just dumb, but also amazing. Okay, that's got to be enough. Let's see here. That's got to be enough for Mexico. Yeah, I thought you would. Boom. New Mexico is granted statehood. No slavery. And Texas is now properly Texas. All right. No, I have a ton of decisions. I have no reforms. We did get universal manhood suffrage, but that's it so far. A new state in Montana? Let's do it. Free state. And Kansas. Bleeding Kansas wants statehood? Free state. The fact that I can just do that. This is just ridiculous. Alright, the Dragoons. Let's go ahead and patrol our new territory. The Army of the South. You're going to hang out in a West Texas town in El Paso. The Army is going to go back to D.C. And the Army of Observation. I don't know what you're even observing. Why don't you just stay in Laredo and keep an eye on things? Right, good game. Not cheesy at all. One more good war would probably do it. But before I do that, let's what do we have here? Jingoism, anti-military, pro-military. I mean, I think war is a fundamental evil that must be avoided, as I just concluded a multi-year war with Mexico. But it's the one that's going to piss off the fewest people. And yes, I had been investing in railroads. As you can see, I've been blasting the heck out of the populous states here. I need to spend more. Although I won't lie, I have found it sometimes nice to keep a little treasury just for when, like, say, I don't know, a huge section of the country revolts over slavery. What I might do, though, is I'm going to boost a little bit more to spending on education. And actually, now that the war's over, I can work on decreasing my military spending here. And the rest should be put into the country. Max out education and admin. Now let's see here. Admin's already up to 83%. I think I can get there without too much more. Because a few reforms that are coming along will finish that one off. And then, I mean, I am an educator at heart, so let's just let's boost a little bit more in there and see how that goes. All right, what time is it? It is... Oh, gosh, it's 8:45. All right, I am going to stop here. I know I'm not at the Civil War yet, but if I don't finish grading those exams, my students will throw a revolt, and I would rather not be paraded through the streets by a bunch of undergrads. So, but this was fun. Let's do max education admin, and giving tax breaks to capitalists does promote factories. That's true. Yes, it does. Gosh, I moved my screen. What a life I'm leading, right? Because then they have more money in their pocket, which they will reinvest in the country, supposedly. But yes, actually, now that the economy is on its way, I can probably start lowering taxes across the board, and that will promote more development, which will be nice, right? It is ideal. It's the way it should work, and sometimes it does, right? Sometimes it does work that way. But thank you so much, StratJoe. It was lovely to have someone to play this with, particularly someone who knows it better than me and was able to guide me through some of the trickier parts that I'm not as familiar with. So this is kind of a busy week for me, so I'm not sure the next time I'm going to stream, but I want to get back to this soon for no other reason than I want my students to be able to appreciate some of the events that we just talked about in class and are now playing out on the board here. Funding internal improvements, Horace Mann, the Benevolent Empire, it's all good. So, definitely be sure to check the clip. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And hope I can run across you again sometime on here. Have a lovely night. Oh gosh, I'm spinning off the screen.